Today I'm sharing a video on portal hypertension. So if we talk of portal vein, how it is formed, so basically there are two S. One is splenic vein, the another one is superior mesenteric vein, and both of them give rise to portal vein. Now we talk of the normal portal pressure, that is 5 to 10 mm of mercury. And when this pressure is more than 12 mm of mercury, we call it portal hypertension. Now, whenever there will be portal hypertension, there will be dilatation of the portal vein, there will be increased resistance, increased flow, and all that will be present. The most definitive evidence of portal hypertension is presence of esophageal varices. Now, if we talk of causes of portal hypertension, this portal hypertension can occur because of the intrahepatic cause or because of the extrahepatic cause. Now, this intrahepatic cause are basically because of the cirrhosis of the liver or any other liver disease. If we talk of developed countries, intrahepatic causes are more common. But when you talk of India, extrahepatic causes are more prevalent as compared to intrahepatic causes. Extrahepatic portal hypertension accounts for 50 to 75% cases of portal hypertension. Now, how does extrahepatic portal hypertension occur? Now, if we talk of prehepatic causes, so any thrombosis in the portal vein or splenic vein or any other obstruction in the portal vein can lead to the portal hypertension. While when you talk of the post-hepatic, so any obstruction in the hepatic vein or inferior vena cava can lead to the extrahepatic portal venous obstruction. Now, when we talk of intrahepatic causes, the most common cause is cirrhosis of the liver due to the chronic liver disease, or there can be congenital hepatic fibrosis, there can be non-cirrhotic portal fibrosis, there can be schistosomiasis or nodular hyperplasia. All that can lead to portal hypertension. But we have to remember, अगर हम causes की बात करें तो इंडिया में सबसे कॉमन जो है वो एक्स्ट्रा हिपेटिक कॉज है, एक्स्ट्रा हिपेटिक पोर्टल वेनस ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन. उसमें भी पोर्टल वेन का ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन या पोर्टल वेन का थ्रोम्बोसिस इज वेरी कॉमन. Now, how to differentiate कि cirrhotic है कि नॉन cirrhotic है पोर्टल वेनस ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन. तो जब भी हमको पोर्टल हाइपरटेंशन मिल रहा है, अगर वो सिरोटिक रीजन से मिल रहा है हमको, दैट इज लिवर डिसीज है, तो लिवर डिसीज के हमको सारे साइंस मिलेंगे इन फॉर्म ऑफ jaundice, ascites, edema. There may be hepatic encephalopathy. There will be other stigmata of the chronic liver disease in form of spider angiomas, palmar edema, gynecomastia. Also synthetic function liver का जाएगा, तो there will be low albumin, raised prothrombin time, and there will be mild to moderate splenomegaly. And SGOT, SGPT भी हमको derange मिलते हैं cirrhosis में. Now, when you talk of non-cirrhotic variety, तो non-cirrhotic is occurring because of extrahepatic portal obstruction. Now, there will be no jaundice, no edema, no ascites, no evidence of hepatic encephalopathy, no stigmata of chronic liver disease. Synthetic functions जो albumin और prothrombin time में will be entirely normal. SGOT, SGPT will be normal. But splenomegaly जो हमको मिलेगी वो moderate to massive मिलेगी in extrahepatic portal obstruction. Now, clinical presentation. So, the age of presentation can vary from infant to adults. अगर हम एक्स्ट्रा हेपेटिक पोर्टल वेन ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन का बच्चा देख रहे हैं तो द चाइल्ड विल प्रेजेंट विद द अपर जीआई ब्लीड बिकॉज ऑफ द esophageal varices and gastric varices. It can be in the form of hematemesis or it can be in the form of melena. Also, there will be splenomegaly present and there will be no hepatic involvement in extrahepatic portal vein obstruction. While when you are dealing with a child with a cirrhotic portal hypertension, the portal hypertension which is occurring because of the cirrhosis, so there will be jaundice, edema, ascites, hepatosplenomegaly, GI bleed, and all that. How to investigate a child with this portal hypertension? So the very primary investigation we will do is USG and Doppler. हमको उसमें पोर्टल वेन, स्प्लिनिक वेन, हेपेटिक वेन कहीं पे भी ब्लॉक या ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन है तो वो हमको मिल जाएगा. Then we can see the increased size of portal vein. We can see the presence of collateral and ascites and liver echo texture पे हमको देखना रहेगा अगर वो लिवर डिसीज की वजह से पोर्टल हाइपरटेंशन है तो. एंड वी कैन ऑल्सो गेट स्प्लीनोमेगाली इन यूएसजी. नाउ एंडोस्कोपी. तो एंडोस्कोपी विल रिवील अबाउट द वेराइसेस इन द इसोफेगस एंड स्टमक, तो उससे हम वो देखेंगे. देन वी विल डू कोलोनोस्कोपी. अगर हमको रेक्टल ब्लीड के साथ बच्चा प्रेजेंट करा एंड वी आर सस्पेक्टिंग ऑफ द रेक्टल वेराइसेस. एंड वी विल डू द LFT बिकॉज लिवर फंक्शन टेस्ट हम करेंगे अगर सिरहोटिक पोर्टल हाइपरटेंशन है तो that will be deranged. And in case we want to see the vascular anatomy, then we will go for the CT or MR portovenography. Now let's see the complications we get in portal hypertension. The most common complication we get in portal hypertension is bleeding in the form of upper GI bleed, that can be in the form of hematemesis or melena, which occurs because of the esophageal varices. Now, another complication really we see is hepatopulmonary syndrome. And in hepatopulmonary syndrome, we get a triad of, there will be evidence of chronic liver disease or portal hypertension, and there will be alteration of the arterial oxygenation and evidence of the intrapulmonary vascular dilatations. जब भी पेशेंट्स हमारे पास हेपेटोपल्मोनरी सिंड्रोम के साथ आएगा, दैट इज हेपेटिक डिसीज लीडिंग टू द पल्मोनरी प्रॉब्लम, तो बेसिकली वी प्रेजेंट विद dyspnea, that is difficulty in breathing, and the patient will also present with platypnea, that is dyspnea which occurs in the upright position and get relieved by recumbent position. And there will be orthodeoxia, that is arterial deoxygenation, which is accentuated in the upright position. And examination may also reveal the clubbing and cyanosis. For diagnosis of it, we need to do is contrast echocardiography. And we don't have a treatment option for it. We have to go for the liver transplantation. Now, another complication we can get is a portopulmonary syndrome. This portopulmonary syndrome जो होता है, उसमें pulmonary arterial hypertension will be present. The pressure will be more than 25 mm of mercury, which is associated with the portal hypertension. So basically, portal hypertension leading to the pulmonary arterial hypertension. That defines the portopulmonary syndrome. And this patient is also present with the dyspnea and syncope, and echocardiography will be required for the diagnosis of it. Now we will manage this child with the portal hypertension. So whenever we are getting a child with a portal hypertension, the very first thing you need to manage is you need to manage the complication which is occurring in the form of GI bleed. So we need to deal with the esophageal varices, GI bleed which is occurring, and ascites and rest of the things. Then next we need to manage is the etiology which is leading to the portal hypertension. We need to correct the cause of portal hypertension. And if you talk of prognosis, the prognosis is better with extrahepatic portal vein obstruction rather than cirrhotic portal obstruction.